But there was danger at the other end of the portal in Storybrooke, and Henry looked to Regina for help.
You said you wanted to change, to be better. This is how.
She was able to absorb that magic and diffuse it.
Yeah.
She saved Snow White's life.
Mom? Henry! Mom!
Regina every now and then has her moments, and that was one of them, where she did something selfless and she did something brave because she loved Henry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Even though we love watching her be bad, it's moments like that that make you want her to find her own happy ending.
We failed.
Really, Cora? Why do you still doubt me?
Fortunately for Cora, Hook stole the desiccated bean from the giant, and through that, they were cunning enough to get their way to Storybrooke.
There it is.
Storybrooke.
This, gentlemen, is our mission. We must investigate the line.
After the curse was broken, not all was perfect in Storybrooke.
All magic comes with a price, and the price for bringing it is anyone who leaves Storybrooke will revert back to their curse memory.
Yeah, what if we found a turtle and sort of nudged it over first?
Oh, for the love of... Terrible news! Terrible news!
For instance, Sneezy becomes Mr. Clark, the pharmacist.
If you cross the border, you lose your memory all over again.
So now Gold is faced with the dilemma. He wants to find his son, but the moment he leaves town, he won't know who he is.
Yeah, he won't remember what he was looking for to begin with.
Mila!
Long ago in the Enchanted Forest, Rumpelstiltskin was branded a coward.
Mila!
He deserted his countrymen on the battlefield to be with his newborn son.
Mila!
Rumple.
What's his name?
Belfire.
A strong name.
Something he'll need if he's to live with the shame of being your son.
Rumpel's actions strained his marriage.
Mila, it's time to go. Who's this?
It's just my husband.
Oh, he's a tad taller than you described.
When we first meet Captain Hook, he's Killian Jones, and he's just doing what pirates do, which is carousing at bars and, taking what he wants.
I remember you. That's always nice to make an impression.
Unfortunately for Rumpelstiltskin, he wants Rumpel's wife.
You see, we have a son, and he needs his mother.
You see, I have a ship full of men who need companionship.
And Rumpel is a broken man, having lost his wife, and now is a single father.
Women do not like to be married to cowards.
Please don't speak to my boy like that.
Afraid of losing his son as well, Rumpelstiltskin summoned the Dark One, a master of dark magic.
Die.
But by killing him, Rumpel transformed into the Dark One himself.
Unfortunately, Rumpel became a little crazy with the power of being the Dark One, and his son tried to return him to the father that he loved and knew before he became the Dark One.
A magic bean. The very last one that is known to our kind. You follow wherever it leads you.
They made a deal with his father to begin a new life in a land without magic.
We have to go through!
No, I don't think I can!
You coward! Don't break our deal!
I have to!
Rumpel is faced with a choice between power and love. He let his son go because he couldn't give up the powers of the Dark One. But he missed his son so much that he brought magic to Storybrooke.
I did it.
You can cross the town line.
Indeed I can.
He discovered a way by finding an item that was really important to him.
This shawl is all I have left of my Belfire.
By enchanting that, he would be able to leave and retain his memories. But a complication comes into play when Hook arrives.
Oh, my dear Cora, it's time for me to skin my crocodile.
When Rumpelstiltskin has become the Dark One and is on his quest to find his son, he happens upon Killian Jones.
You! Even gutter rats have more manners than you just displayed.
I'm so sorry, sir.
I was wrong. Not a rat at all. More like a crocodile.
And Rumpel now knows, as Dark One, he's got the ability to exact the vengeance in the way that poor pre-Dark One, Rumpelstiltskin, couldn't do.
Do you know what it's like to have your wife stolen from you?
It feels like having your heart ripped from your chest.
Stop!
The unexpected surprise was coming across Mila, not as a prisoner, but as a willing companion to Killian Jones.
Oh, I feel a proposal coming on.
The magic bean in exchange for our lives.
And once again, Rumpel is faced with a choice between power and love. He can let his wife and Captain Hook go and sail off in the world and have a bean that will reunite him with his son, or he can exact revenge. And in true Rumpel fashion, he can't help himself.
And he does it Rumpel style, which is ripping out your heart and squeezing it in front of you until you fall over dead, while your loved one watches.
And then cutting their hand off.
Killing me is gonna take a lot more than that, dearie.
I will find a way.
Well, good luck living long enough.
And that is how Captain Hook is born.
And he will do whatever it takes, and he will align himself with whomever will get him to Rumpelstiltskin so he can exact revenge.
At the Storybrooke town line, Mr. Gold was ready to put his potion to the test.
Well,
It worked. Now you can find your son.
I wouldn't count on it. Bill! Bill!
Who's Bill?
Hook's attack had robbed Belle of her memory, but before Gold could strike back, Storybrooke had an unexpected visitor.
What's going on?
Over here!
Suddenly, Storybrooke was exposed.
Do you know this guy? Never seen him before. Looks like the world just came to Storybrooke.
When the curse was broken and magic was brought, Storybrooke was suddenly visible.
Anyone could drive in. Why are my instincts telling me that's a bad thing?
Because you've seen E.T. or Splash or any other movie where they find something magical and study it to death. I think what they do to a werewolf.
So, Mr. Mendel, I do need you to state what you saw.
I didn't see anything.
Oh.
I looked down, just for a second. And when I looked back up, he was right there. And he was too close to avoid.
In season 1, we saw Emma was able to come to Storybrooke. We saw August was able to come to Storybrooke. But these were people who were a part of the fairy tale.
And born in the Enchanted Forest.
Pinocchio.
In 28 years, you must make sure the Savior believes.
Pinocchio was charged with great responsibility when he and baby Emma journeyed to a new world. But not long after they found a home in an orphanage, Pinocchio left Emma to fend for herself.
I told my father I'd take care of Emma.
We can't take care of a baby.
I'm sorry, Emma.
And Emma grew up living a life of crime.
We got to see what Emma was like before Storybrooke, a woman on her own.
Present. But really, you could have just asked me for the keys.
And that's when she meets Neil.
This isn't your car either, is it?
She's actually met a kindred spirit because he's also stealing the car.
20 minutes to housekeeping.
What they knew at a young age was the simple things were the important things.
It's not much of a home. Maybe it's time we get a real place.
Being with each other, being in love, and finding a place to be together.
Like where, Neverland?
I'm serious, we could do this.
They just wanted to live their lives, and they wanted to find a family, and they wanted to be together.
Are you sure? Is this what you really want?
What I really want is you.
Emma was always a character searching for home. Unfortunately, destiny got in the way of that.
Emma and Neil planned to use cash from stolen watches to begin their life together.
This is $20,000 easy.
20,000?
But Neil was faced with greater forces at work.
Tragically, Emma's role as savior and her place in this greater story came into play and broke them apart.
She has a destiny, and you're gonna keep her from it.
Pinocchio had returned. He had changed his name to August Booth.
When you see what I have in here, you're gonna believe every word I say.
And he knew Neil's true identity.
I was tasked with keeping her on track, and you just got caught in the crossfire.
Neil left Emma to face prosecution alone, placing her on a challenging path to destiny.
Let's go.
Emma already had her guard up, and this was a time where she let it down, and she would never let it down again, except for Henry.
Please, I told you about your parents.
Family's important to the show because it is something that everybody needs, and it is something that everybody looks for.
Your dad was training to be a fireman.
Did you get married?
No, nothing like that. I was pregnant with you, and I tried to contact him. I found out that he died saving a family from a burning apartment building.
I need to find someone. So we're leaving today.
Find someone? Who?
My son.
With the help of an enchanted globe, Mr. Gold found Bay's location. And with Henry and Emma, he crossed the town line. But that was only the first leg of the journey.
Seeing Mr. Gold going through a security line and getting on a plane, which in a lot of ways is one of this world's most magical things, something that can fly in the air.
It's gonna be all right.
He was venturing into a world he had never known. That was for us the inspiration for that story.
Let me guess, he's not expecting you. Well, who doesn't love a surprise?
Emma and Gold and Henry make their way to New York City.
He's running.
And they track down Baelfire.
Get him to talk to me. I can't run.
And it is a shock to Emma to discover that Baelfire, Rumpelstiltskin's son, is actually Neil.
Neil?
The love of her life from 10 years earlier. Now, we have a very messy family reunion.
Get out of my apartment!
Neil.
Emma, I got this.
You two know each other, how?
Mom, what's going on?
Who's this?
My son.
What?
Is that Baelfire?
And now Neil discovering that not only did he break Emma's heart, but he left behind a son.
Is this my son?
Mom?
And a son who's completely confused because he's been lied to by his mother.
Yes.
Rumpelstiltskin is Henry's grandfather?
Apparently.
So his step-grandmother is Regina.
Yeah, I think Charming summed it up when he said Thanksgivings would suck at that house.
So you're really from there?
Yeah, I am.
As Henry got to know his father, Gold pressed Emma to help smooth things over with Neil.
So, you talked to him?
It's complicated.
Oh, I see.
Maybe he just needs some time. I don't know.
But there was a bigger problem.
Time's up, Crocodile.
Oh, you all right?
After the curse was finally broken in Storybrooke,
Johanna?
long-lost friends found one another again.
Snow.
Mother.
When Snow White was a young girl, her mother, Queen Ava, fell deathly ill. Johanna was a royal servant,
Is she going to die?
and she cared for Snow during this difficult time.
I don't want to lose her.
Snow White was trying to save her mother's life, and Cora, pretending to be the Blue Fairy, offered her a candle.
This candle can save your mother's life, but all magic comes with a price.
The price would be another person's life.
You must hold this candle over the heart of your sacrifice.
Snow was unwilling to sacrifice a life, even to save her own mother. And Ava died. Cora's manipulation of young Snow was just the beginning.
Snow would have been a great ruler someday, but that'll never happen because my daughter will be queen.